Hello guys, this is Mike from programming.org. Welcome back to this tutorial where we just reviewed how to migrate a database. This time we're going to create our own database table, and this table is going to be called blogs, and it's going to be a representation of the blog model in a database form. So let's go about in creating that. I don't want to have to write this migration file out from scratch, so let's go back to our terminal and use PHP Artisan to make our migration. So I want to write PHP Artisan make migration, and like I said in the last video, the way we're going to name this is create blogs table. And we're going to create a blog model in a few videos from now that is going to be an uppercase B blog.php. So like I said, that's the convention, and this will be a plural version of the model. So let's run this, and we have a migration called create blogs table. So let's go back to our Sublime editor, and let's go to migrations, and we now have our create blogs table extends migration. Cool. So before I get started, I want to show you something in the Laravel documentation. If you're confused on a few things, go to documentation, scroll down and read everything. But the one thing I wanted to really show you is right here. Remember in the last video when I said table string and it represents varchar, for instance? Well, here is a list of what everything is equivalent to in MySQL. So for instance, if I wanted a big int, I would write big integer in Laravel. So let's go back to Sublime Text and create our blogs table. And the way we're going to write this is schema : create, open up some parentheses, and we're going to name our table right here, which is blogs, and then we're going to have a callback function that type hints for blueprint, and we're going to call that table. Cool. So let's open up the curly brackets, and inside here, the two things I said that must be in here is table increments ID, and of course table timestamps. Alright, so I want to give this a couple column names. So the first one I'm just going to say table, and we're going to call this a string, and I want to call this the title of the blog. So I'll just call it title. The next one will be a string, and we'll just give that something called text, and that'll be good for now. I'm going to add a few things as we go along. Make sure we have our down method, and we're going to just say schema drop, and then put in the table name, which is blogs. Cool, so we have everything that we need. So make sure you save that, and let's go back to our terminal. So I need to get back into our MySQL interface. So the way we're going to do that again is MySQL username homestead, and password will be secret. Alright, we're in. So let's say that we want to use my blog site, and let's take a look at the tables we have. Let's say show tables. We have migrations, which you should not mess with. So this is pretty much just some metadata about our migration, so don't worry about messing with that table. But we still have the password reset and the users table. So I want to migrate the table we just made. So what we're going to do now is let's back up out of here, say exit. Let's say PHP Artisan migrate rollback, and now we've rolled back the create password resets table and the create users table. So now I want to re-migrate our database, which we could have done with migrate refresh, but I'm just showing you step by step how this is done. So PHP Artisan migrate, and this should migrate all three tables for us now. Cool, so now we have our create blogs table. So join me in the next tutorial and we'll start filling out this blogs table.